Right now, China is building the largest global network of control in history. Through shipping ports, power plants, and surveillance systems, they're shaping our world in ways most people don't see. Until it's too late. We're about to show you a pattern that threatens the freedom of hundreds of millions of people across the globe. Since 2013, China has spent over $1 trillion building massive projects across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. They call it the Belt and Road Initiative. And on the surface, it looks like aid to help poor countries grow. But beneath this massive web of projects lies a strategy that's reshaping global power. Through debt, resource control, and something even more sinister that we'll reveal in this video. Let's start in Sri Lanka, where we first saw China's plan in action. When Sri Lanka couldn't pay back massive Chinese loans for their new port, they had to hand it over to China for 99 years. China gained a strategic military position in the Indian Ocean, and Sri Lanka went into crippling debt. But this was just the beginning of a pattern now playing out around the world, each time with graver consequences. Pakistan reveals how China uses debt to gain control. China built far more power plants than Pakistan could use or afford. Now Pakistan owes China over $30 billion, and its citizens struggle to pay skyrocketing electricity bills. But China got something more valuable than debt payments. They gained control of a strategic port that serves Chinese ships while bringing little benefit to the Pakistani people. This debt trap strategy is just the first phase of China's global plan. Once countries are trapped in debt, China seizes their resources. In Zambia, Chinese companies have seized control over vital copper mines. Workers earn poverty wages while billions in mineral wealth flows to China. Entire communities near these mines have lost their homes and traditional farmlands, receiving almost nothing in return. The promises of jobs and development have turned to dust, leaving behind something even more sinister, a model for controlling entire nations. The story in Guinea shows just how far this goes. China found one of the world's largest iron ore deposits there, the Sumandu mine. They promised to build schools, hospitals, and roads to help local communities. Instead, they built only as much as they needed to extract Guinea's resources. Workers face dangerous conditions while Chinese companies make billions. The economic benefits flow almost entirely to China, while Guinea's people are left with damaged environments and broken promises. But the real threat isn't just about money and resources, it's about power and control. China's reach now extends deep into Latin America, right in America's backyard. In Venezuela, Chinese loans secured control of vast oil reserves while helping keep an authoritarian government in power. While Venezuelan citizens face poverty and economic collapse, their oil wealth flows to China. In Argentina, China funded massive hydropower projects that have pushed the country deeper into debt, while expanding Chinese influence closer to the United States. And now we're seeing the most troubling phase of China's plan unfold. And here's the sinister part. They're not just creating debt and stealing resources, they're teaching other governments how to control their own people. In Zimbabwe, for instance, Chinese experts installed surveillance systems just like the ones China uses to monitor its own people. These systems don't just watch traffic, they track political activists and help the government crush opposition. What's happening in Zimbabwe offers a frightening glimpse of where this could lead globally. The pattern becomes even clearer in Myanmar. China has invested billions in projects like the Kiokpu deep sea port and an oil and gas pipeline. This money helps keep in power the brutal military dictatorship that overthrew the democratically elected government in 2021. The projects provide essential money for the military to maintain its iron grip on power. And this blueprint for authoritarian control is spreading. In Ecuador, we see the full evolution of China's influence. First came loans for development projects, then came surveillance technology for public safety. Now those same cameras and systems monitor political activities and help stop protests against the government. It's the same pattern China uses at home to crush any opposition to its power. And unless something changes, this pattern will continue to spread. The United States and Europe are trying to respond, but they're falling dangerously behind. The U.S. has promised $200 billion through the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment project. Europe's Global Gateway program offers €300 billion. But China has already spent over $1 trillion. Every year, the gap grows larger, and with it, China's influence grows stronger. we've learned some hard lessons about foreign aid. In Afghanistan, we spent billions on projects that didn't help people in the long term. But we've also had some remarkable success stories. The President's emergency plan for AIDS relief has saved millions of lives in Africa. When aid is done right, it can work. But while China spends billions exerting its influence, Western countries spend less than 1% of their budgets on foreign aid. This is especially dangerous in Latin America, where China has poured billions into controlling ports, railways, and natural resources. Each new project brings Chinese influence closer to America's borders. While China builds ports and railways across the region, Western nations struggle to offer alternatives, and time is running out to change course. The choice we face is clear, and the consequences are serious. Either Western governments increase investment in global development, or China's influence will continue to grow. This isn't about charity. It's about whether the future will be shaped by democratic values or by authoritarian control. Let your representatives know that you care about foreign investment. Let them know you care about global freedom.